Hey guys, Kyle here again with another episode of Dreams 101 Lessons in Life Skills in 15 Minutes. I hope this finds everyone well and hope everyone's doing okay. Today's lesson is another lesson, a life skill that you can definitely practice at home to help out your family. It's something we practice at Dreams quite often, and it's something that really will help you keep your place clean, and that is sweeping and as well mopping. So we're going to start with sweeping first. It's a good idea to always sweep your floors before you mop. So that helps you get up all of the small little dust particles and some of the little bits and bites that are on the ground. You can get those all picked up and get those off the ground before you use your wet mop to finish off the floors. So you can really use any kind of indoor broom. Myself personally, I like this one here. It's just your average, kitchen broom. It's got some nice tight straight bristles and it's got a bit of an edge on it, so it helps you get into the corners better. Some people like to use microfiber mops or Swiffers. I mean, that's fine as well. Any kind of mop just to get the base layer of dirt up off your floors before you use your mop. So I've already put some rice down on the floor and to simulate, our dirt. So I'm going to give you guys a quick demo of the proper techniques to use while you're sweeping. And then after that, we will move on to finishing the floor by mopping the floor with a wet mop. Okay. So as you can see, I've placed a bunch of rice on the ground. So when you do start, you're going to want to make sure that your broom is flush to the ground. Okay? So you're going to start off slowly with the broom flush to the ground, keeping it straight. So you want to keep it straight. And you're going to pull all of the dirt and dust into a nice, neat little pile. A nice, neat little pile right in the middle of your floor. Okay? So you're going to make sure when you come towards a desk, you're going to make sure instead of reaching underneath or trying to just go around the legs of the chair or desk, you're going to pull that chair right out. So you can get right back underneath to the corner to the wall. And again, like I said, I like this broom because it's got a bit of an edge, so it helps me get underneath all the little nooks of the desk. Okay, so I'm going to continue pulling all of my dirt into the middle of the room into one pile, keeping my broom flush and straight to the floor, as I said before. You're going to want to make sure when you are getting close to the wall, try to make sure that you're going all the way to the very end, to the baseboard. And then pull out, just as I said. Okay, so you just take your time. There's no rush, there's no prize. So just try to make sure you pick up all that dirt so it doesn't mess with you when you start mopping. Okay, so you're going to put it all into a nice tight pile right into the middle of your floor. So you would go around the whole surface of wherever it is you're sweeping. So whether it's your living room, your dining room, your kitchen, you would go all the way around and sweep the entire surface. Another thing as well, when you are sweeping, you're going to want to use two hands. So you're going to want to have one hand on the top. So one hand on the top like this. And second hand, you're going to want to have it about halfway down the shaft of the broom. Okay? So you're going to hold it just like this. Okay, so I have my pile of debris, or dust or dirt. And at this point you have to pick that up off the ground. So you're going to usually brooms will come with some kind of dustpan. You're going to use this guy here. Okay, so just a simple dustpan. and you're going to pick it up just like this. Okay, so you're gonna bend your knees, okay? You're not gonna bend over your back, this is not good for your back. And you're going to pick up all your dust and dispose of that into the garbage can. Okay, so at this point, you've swept your floors, you're ready to move on to mopping, and I'll return with that in a second. Okay guys, so now that we've swept our floor and we've removed all of the base layer of dust and dirt, we can finish our floors and make them as clean as they possibly can be by using a wet mop. So for instance, I have this kind of a mop. Again, there's different kind of mops that you can use if you'd like. There's this style mop as well, which is more like a spray mop. Okay, so you can use that style mop as well. Okay, it's more like this style. So it's a microfiber with a spray handle. So sometimes I use that one. For the most part, I like the mop I'm going to use for today's lesson though. Okay, so when you're about to start mopping your floor after you've swept, if you have a spray mop, you can add a little bit of your cleaning product to the actual water chamber on the spray mop. The water chamber is right here. So you could add a little, maybe a cupful at the most of your Pine Sol or whatever cleaning product you're using inside here. And then when you spray your water from your handle here, you'll get a little bit of a cleaning solution as well. For today's lesson, since I'm using a mop such as this, I've decided that I'm going to use a pail of water. So I filled the pail up with water and I added some of my cleaning product right into the pail. I added maybe about, 100 milliliters or so, not too much. The more cleaning solution you use, the more streaks you'll see on your floors. So in this case, when you're mopping, less is kind of more, I guess. So I'm going to start with our mopping. So I'm going to dip my mop inside my water. Okay, let it get nice and wet. This mop is a twist mop, so I'm going to wring it out, twist it, and wring it out as best I can. Okay, I'm going to do both ways just so I make sure it's as dry as possible. Okay, so now we're good to go. I'm going to shake it out a bit. Okay, so. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure, that your mop is covering as much surface area on your floor as possible. Okay, so again, just like our sweeping, you're going to want to have one hand on the top and one hand in the middle. So you always want to have two hands on your broom or your mop. Okay, and you're going to just start. I usually like to start by the wall. And you're just going to go side to side. Side to side, just like this. Okay? And you're just going to keep walking backwards slowly, moving backwards. And again, like I said, try to not let the mop head, so the top of the mop, try not to let that leave the ground. Keep that flush on the ground. And you're just going to go back and forth. Back and forth again. When you come to a chair, instead of reaching underneath, you just pull the chair right out. Yeah, that way we can get right underneath that desk. Okay, and I'm just going to continue going back and forth. So you just continue moving back and forth all the way until you're done the surface area of whatever room you actually are mopping. So a couple things to remember, like I said, you want to keep your hand on the top of the mop and your hand in the middle. So make sure to keep two hands on your mop. Try your best to keep your mop head against the ground. That would work for both the spray kind of mop I showed you at the beginning and as well this kind of mop. You're also going to want to not back yourself into a corner. So that's a pro tip right there. So try to start from the wall out so you're not backed into a corner once you're done and you have to walk across your freshly cleaned wet floors. Other than that, I think that would be about it. Like I said, try not to use a whole ton of cleaning product. Less is more when you're mopping. You don't want to leave too much product on your floors and then leave streaks. So like I said before, you're going to sweep first. So you're going to get up all the stuff off the ground before you use your wet mop. And then you're going to finish it off with your wet mop, and it's going to leave your floors nice and shiny, and they're going to smell nice and fresh and clean. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this lesson as well. Dreams 101, Lessons in Life Skills in 15 Minutes. I'm Kyle. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.